Hey guys, John V here from Phone Reno. Right now you're watching our in-depth video review of the ATT Avail 2. Now it's pretty amazing how inexpensive prepaid smartphones are, and with the ATT Avail 2 it's actually sporting a price point of $79, so it seems like it's very promising. Well folks, there are no surprises here with the design of the phone. It's pretty much predictable. At its core, it's still nothing more than a cheap device just because of its choice materials and its flimsy construction. It's made out of plastic entirely, though they kind of give it a chrome-like finish around the bezels and the sides, but it's indeed plastic. However, we really like how they change it up in the rear. It has a surface that's similar to leather, though a little bit more rubbery, and does a good job of masking any fingerprints and smudges. Like I mentioned, it's really compact, so it's really easy in the hands, so we like that about it aside from the cheap construction of the handset. So it features a 3.5-inch 320 by 480 TFT display, which gives it a pixel density of 165 pixels per inch. There's nothing pretty about this one. For starters, it's pretty much lacking any fine detail. So when you go to the web browser, look at something from the zoomed out view, it's pretty much garbled looking. On top of that, it has some very poor viewing angles, distorts very easily, some bland looking colors, rather washed out, and its brightness output's not that strong, so we have a hard time viewing it in outdoor conditions. And finally, the panel over display itself is a little bit on the plasticky side, so it's very prone to smudges, fingerprints, and even scratches. Taking a look around the sides of its body, we have separated volume controls, a microphone. We have also the micro USB port for charging data connectivity, physical power button, and also 3.5mm headset jack. There's only one camera on the handset, since found only in the rear. It's a paltry-sized 2-megapixel one. Towards the bottom side of the rear cover, we have two notches there for its internal speaker, and when you pry off the rear cover, we gain access to its 1500 milliamp hour battery, its full-size SIM slot, and also has a micro SD card slot. Aside from the widgets here on the home screen, it's a mostly stock Android experience. You can see that here with the app panel, of course. It's very generic, no advanced features like that you find on some of the high-end devices out there, but at least you have all the core foundational aspects of Android in tow with the experience. However, it has some of its own customizations, and it's found actually with the lock screen. It takes a little bit of a different approach. Normally when you swipe away from the center, you unlock the device, but in this case, we could jump into specific applications. It's nice that we had the ability to actually customize that, and in order to unlock it, we got to hold down the button itself. Considering that this is an entry-level Android-powered prepaid phone, we're not too sad to find that there aren't any enhanced features with it. So with the customized Android 4.1.1 Jelly Bean experience, it gets the job done, so at least you have all the minimum feature set you'd find on any other Android smartphone out there. Oh boy, you're going to really need a lot of patience with this one here. The Avail 2 is powered by a single-core 1GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon S1 processor coupled with only 512 gigabytes of RAM, so hardly the stuff that we think about nowadays, but yes, that's the type of hardware that's packed into this guy, and you can see here already with the home screen, the live wallpaper, it is just struggling. You're gonna need a lot of patience just because it takes a long time for it to handle different operations, even simple things like multitasking or jumping in and out applications. You could see that long delay right there. Likewise, you're going to need a lot of patience with the web browser just because this handset's only a 3G device, so speeds might take a little bit longer. And on top of that, seeing it has a low quality, low resolution display, not really the most ideal thing for surfing the web. And you could tell also with its performance, it is just super sluggish. It's really nice to find a new music player, especially for an Android smartphone. You could use the Google Play Music application if you'd like, or as an alternative, you could use the one here provided by ZTE. It has a pretty good presentation, and the functionality is pretty much the same as any other Android smartphone. As far as the audio quality with its speaker, it's definitely powerful, loud with its tone, but at the loudest volume setting, there's just a lot of crackling going on. It's not really ideal for watching video, especially on a device with a 3.5-inch display, and the performance of the Avail 2 is pretty much lackluster too. It just struggles to play 1080p videos, though lower resolution videos work fine, but honestly, you might want to look elsewhere just because the display as a whole is rather poor. Also, the tiny display kind of hinders us when it comes to typing up messages with the on-screen keyboard just because we're limited with the real estate, so it's very cramped, and it's also rather sluggish with its performance. For a basic Android smartphone, we're happy to find that it offers some manual controls and a few shooting modes to give us better control in what we shoot. However, it does take a little bit of time snapping a shot. So it's nice that we have the ability to take photos, of course, with the handset, but the 2-megapixel snapper just falls flat with its quality. Very disappointing in every aspect, from colors, its washed out looking colors, and just the heavy presence of noise, even in situations where there's a lot of lighting. Of course, with lower lighting situations, we see it heavily diminished. There's just a lot of noise, faint details, and nothing really exciting about its quality. Equally as forgettable is the handset's VGA recording quality, so only 640 by 480. Now the biggest thing here is just the details. Pretty much out the door, you don't even see that much of it. On top of that, there's just a lot of heavy artifacting that really diminishes the overall quality. The exposure seems a little bit slow too, and finally, audio recording quality is a little bit on the sharp side. It's really unfortunate when a handset fails to deliver a decent calling experience, but that's what we get here with the Avail 2, just because voices on both ends of the line are extremely muddy in tone, and the speakerphone just has a lot of crackling. With its 1500 milliamp hour battery, we're able to at least get through one solid day of normal usage, so that's good enough for most people. $80 for a prepaid smartphone sounds pretty good, right? Especially when you're not going to spend a whole lot of money on this device, but honestly, after what we've seen here, you're pretty much want to look elsewhere. It's really tough to sell. Even though the price point's fantastic, other aspects about the Avail 2 is just pretty dismal. Performance just across the board terrible in pretty much all aspects, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is the type of phone that accidentally falls out of your hand. So if you guys want to learn more about the AT&T Avail 2, you can check out our website, phonearena.com. John V. Thanks for watching.